Howdy everyone, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of Not Too Late, the only IU student television program that has beef with Jane Goodall. Our guests for this week come from the comedy group Awkward Silence, and they're going to play a fun improv game with us. Also, today's an extra special day because it's our first ever filming with a live audience that we did not have to pay off. Now let's check out what's happening in the news today. The mayor of Terrace, British Columbia, Carol Leclerc, has some serious competition if she'd like to win her next election. The Kool-Aid Man, yes, a man dressed as the famous mascot, is running for the mayor in the small British Columbian town. When asked if he was serious about the campaign, he responded, "Oh, yes, I'm very serious about making sure the people of Terrace are represented fairly." Has a bird ever hit your windshield? I know I should feel bad for the little guys, but it can be so annoying sometimes, especially when one of their riders gets their KOK shirt wedged in your hood. At long last, Bird has brought their dockless scooter service here to Bloomington. Using the mobile app, anyone can access the location of Bird scooters on campus and can take to the town starting at only $1. Bird is bringing back the Razor scooter into our lives that we've been searching for since we were kids. They're also doing this while answering why our generation's pregnancy rate is at an all-time low. A restaurant in Maine is using marijuana to help sedate their lobsters. This marks the first time a crustacean has enjoyed the pot. Speaking of animals, today we're going to be talking about a very traumatic series of events from my childhood, all caused by one thing and one thing only: Stuart Little. In kindergarten, I watched that movie for the first time and I absolutely loved every second of it. Stuart was a great protagonist and his pursuit of a real family was nothing short of admirable. My quarrel isn't with the movie itself, but rather with the events it caused. During recess the day after watching the film, I began to ask a few of my friends about the movie so we could discuss the working class hero that went from an orphan to owning a sick red convertible. But to my dismay, none of them had any idea who Stuart Little was. Literally not a single person had ever heard of the mouse. Not only did they not know about the mouse, but they were so convinced that he didn't exist that they told me that I made up the story of the little mouse that could. So sure enough, I trusted my friends and spent the next few years of life thinking that Stuart Little was a character that I made up in some sort of fever dream that was so vivid I thought it was real. Little did I know that in the 5th grade I was in for a very rude awakening. In my 5th grade class, we had a creative storytelling assignment. We had to write a narrative that was a few pages long that we came up with all on our own. I thought a lot about what to write when an idea dawned on me. Why not make my dream from 5 years ago my story for the class? I spent 2 weeks in class trying to remember every single detail from the movie and eventually finished what I thought to be a work of art. I walked in confidently to my class and turned in a story with the title, Stuart Little, written in bold on the top. The next day, my teacher asked me to stay after class to talk to me about my story. I got excited hearing this news, thinking that maybe the teacher liked it so much she wanted to send it to Hollywood to make it into a movie. I didn't know how wrong I was. After a lengthy scolding about plagiarism, I explained my side of the story to the teacher, and she went from being upset with me for stealing to laughing at my foolish mistake. She gave me an extra week to work on a new story, and I went on with my life, forever questioning how I could have gone 5 years thinking that I was the single-handed creator of Stuart Little. Before we interview our guests, let's check out our field segment from this week, where some of our members of Not Too Late crew went out and found the best pickup lines IU students have to offer.
We're here on Kirkwood asking people for their best pickup lines. This definitely wasn't a scheme to get a girlfriend. Let's go! What's the best pickup line that you can think of?
Is that a Hebrew National hot dog in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
All right, that's a good one.
My name's Gabriel, but I'm no angel.
Probably like Call Me Nemo because I'm never afraid to touch the butt.
That's a good one. Disney's always fun.
Are you from Tennessee? Because there's only Tennessee.
Are you a broom? Because I sure can sweep you off your feet.
Are you a drill sergeant? Because you've got my private standing at attention.
It is from my buddy Simon. It is, I'll disappoint you in ways you can't even imagine.
I don't know if I want to respect the out of you or respect out of you.
If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together.
All right, so what's the best pickup line that you can think of?
You want to meet my dog?
I bet that one's pretty effective. Has it ever worked?
Yeah.
All right, man, thank you. What's your best pickup line?
I don't have a pickup line. People usually just like approach me, but people usually just ask me like, do I have a boyfriend or something. So.
All right, simple, but you know, effective. All right, do you have one?
Okay, what's your number? I'm trying to see something.
All right. That's a good one. Now, has that ever worked for you?
Very.
It's very worked for you. I'm glad. Have you ever used this, or has it ever been used on you?
I've used it a couple times with 100% success.
Has it worked before?
No.
Has not worked. Okay. Well, keep trying, man. Have you ever used this, or has it ever been used on you?
Me and like my friend use it back and forth jokingly, but no, I've never used it on an actual human being. Seriously.
Because your friend's not a human. I understand. Have you ever used this before?
No.
Okay. Have you used this, or has it been used on you?
It has not, unfortunately, but
That's too bad. I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Thank you for your time.
Anyone out there that wants to use it, you can.
Been used on me. I've never used it.
Did it work?
Not yet.
Has it ever worked?
The pickup line?
Yeah.
Define work.
Hello, Tree. What's your best pickup line? Well, I don't know if that's a pickup line, more just like accurate statement, but hey, you do you, Tree. Thank you. Back to you, Turner.
Welcome back to Not Too Late. We're here with our guests from Awkward Silence. Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate all of you coming in. So tell us about your comedy group. Tell us about what you do, what you like to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sure, I'll take it. We are Awkward Silence Comedy. We're a long-form improv group, which means we focus a lot on relationships in the scene. We do 20-minute montages. So we like to kind of establish a world and kind of discover what's quirky and what's fun about that world. We also really like to hang out with one another. We're kind of codependent because we rehearse twice a week, and then we have shows every single Thursday at 9 p.m. typically in the Union. So we're constantly doing bits, and definitely that'll feed into the improv sometimes. Some bits we develop outside. Yeah. That's a sick rundown, I think.
That works. So yeah, that's us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I get it. That's funny. You did our name.
I did.
That's our name.
I was hoping you all would catch that.
You got it.
Right over.
People have done that so many.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
You're in the group.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's never too late to catch the joke.
I should have gotten that because every time my mom introduces me to some of her friends and says Julia's in a comedy group called Awkward Silence, they'll stare at me. And so
They got to keep the joke going.
it's funny.
All right, so what's your favorite part about being in a comedy group? Or do you prefer group or troupe?
We say group most of the time.
Right.
Troupe really just means the same thing, but it makes us sound kind of like clowns or like a circus.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes us sound like a French Cirque du Soleil kind of.
Yeah, and those are clowns. But no, one of my favorite things is just the community, because we're one of 8 comedy groups on campus. So like we will do our own thing and we'll kind of learn from each other a lot, but then we get to go to see other comedy groups and learn from them and spend some time with them and really cultivate our craft and creativity. And I think that it's just a great way to have a creative outlet and like work with other creative people to make something that we think is really beautiful and that the audience likes to laugh at. So that's why I like it.
Awesome. Anybody else have any favorite parts about it?
Yeah, I mean, improv for us is a lot based on trust, because we all don't know what we're going to do in any scene that we go up on the stage to do. So it's really fun to get really close with each other. We, as Julie said, we spend 3 days a week with each other for about 2 to 3 hours. So we see each other way too much to be normal, and we become really good friends and stuff. But and with that, have to trust in each other and stuff, which is really great. So we've made some great friendships throughout the years.
It's definitely super cool to go on stage and be super stupid.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
If you're having a bad day, you just know that if it's Sunday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you get to go hang out with your favorite people and let it all go.
So how did the name Awkward Silence come about? How is that chosen?
So our group was actually created about 15 years ago or so by a man named Brian Frange. And so We unfortunately were not there to. I think we would have been.
Witness the
We were about 5 years old, so we were not there when he created it. But I think he enjoyed the idea of awkward silence being this this just general comedic thing that happens in everyday life. And with improv, we try to replicate everyday life while making fun of it in some ways too. So he played on that little trope and created the group.
Nice. Do you have any good heckling stories? I know I've been to 1 or 2 comedy shows and I've seen heckling happen. Do you ever get any of that?
We don't usually get a lot of hecklers, but there was this one kid who showed up to almost every show last year, and we always ask for a suggestion. Typically in our second montage, we'll ask for a location because we love to do group scenes. And he said Mississippi the first time and got like a really good laugh. And then he kept coming back, and every single week he was like, Mississippi! And the laughs started dying down. I was like, okay, how about like another
Anywhere
state?
else.
And then he was like, Montana! And so then he started with Montana. But that's like the closest I think we've ever
And that's
gotten to
pretty
heckling.
good natured, because I feel like we're a very positive group. We like to have scenes where, like we said, we have very strong relationships. We care about each other a lot. So I think that if people have a problem with what they're doing, with what we're doing on stage, it's pretty rare, and usually it's not like we're doing something that's aggressively stupid or mean. So I don't think there's a lot of cause for heckling necessarily.
Most of the audiences are friends and stuff that we invite to the shows. So if they heckle us, they're just horrible people.
We're lucky.
So what are your goals as like a comedy troupe as a whole or group as a whole? Like, do you have any goals? Do you want to reach anything? Do you want to become the most popular one on campus? Anything like that?
I feel like we kind of have our own sort of place in the comedy community, and so I think that we're just trying to pursue that and like just become better improvisers as individuals. And over the course of doing improv, we'd like to continue to pursue that because we are the only all long-form comedy group on campus. And so if we're able to continue and be, the best long-form group, that's something. But having an opportunity for people to see long-form improv, can I actually have something? Thank you. Just an opportunity for us to do long-form improv.
Yeah.
Oh, where are those from? Are they from Panera?
Panera, yeah.
Those are so good. Can I? Do you have more? Can I have another one?
But as Blake was saying, we just want to keep doing what we're doing and make people smile and laugh and just get better every day, I guess.
We always like to, before shows, we break it down and warm up and stuff, and we always like to remind ourselves that we're up there, with, again, based on trust and up with each other. So we're not too focused on how big the crowd is or how popular of a group we are, or if people are standing next to us with chips. We just like to, focus on the kind of art in it and the fun in it, and just keep doing that.
All right, now with comedy, do you have any personal goals? Do any of you want to achieve a career, anything in comedy, anything like that?
I definitely do. I really, I love comedy. I love everything about it. I want to produce it for sure.
Definitely.
I spent the summer in Chicago getting frick off. I like to talk about it. It was a big deal for me. I spent the summer interning at the Second City in Chicago.
Awesome.
So my dream is to work there as a producer and do improv on the side at IO. So
we have a lot of alumni too in the group since we've been on campus for about 15 years, and we if you go to any improv theaters in Chicago, you'll definitely find them around there performing, because a lot of them, it's a really fun thing to do, even if it is just recreationally. So I think a lot of us plan to pursue it post-grad.
Awesome. So feel free to promote anything. If you have any upcoming shows or if you want to let people know about your schedule, go for it.
Oh, absolutely. We have shows every single Thursday at 9 p.m. in the IMU. Either in the Georgian Room or the Stateroom East. You can follow us on Instagram at awkward_IUB for some hot content. And then you can follow us on Facebook for even more hot content and a whole lot of information.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So now we're going to go to our game for the day. Our game today is called From a Hat. So our guests over here, I'm going to pull 2 things, whether it be a location, a prompt, or anything from this hat, and then you will have to say something that pertains to both situations. So for example, it could be in the bedroom and in outer space, and you have to come up with something on the fly. You all can shout out whatever answers you want, and then I will give a point to who I deem did the best. Are we all ready?
Oh, yes.
All right, so first we have to the president and when smelling your own socks.
You said, what was the first one again? To the president?
To the president.
Okay.
When smelling my own sauce. This smells like your foreign policy. Oh, you like that?
Anybody else got one?
Oh, to the president.
Congratulations.
Yeah!
Blake, you really stumped us. It was so good.
All right.
Political commentary.
Meeting your new stepdad for the first time and while on a cooking show.
It's getting hot in here.
Inappropriate.
All right. Any other suggestions? There goes the point again. Congratulations. Keep track of your own points because I will not remember them.
Okay, cool.
All right, in an airport and right before you get on a really scary roller coaster.
I like the practice prompts. I thought of one that was good for that. I can't think of any now.
Keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Yeah, that's a point.
Thank you.
All right, at your cousin's bar mitzvah and losing all your savings in Vegas.
Oy vey.
That's her response, I think.
Any other?
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
I don't know how that pertains to Vegas.
That's gambling, right?
I'm gonna give that one to you.
Thank you.
All right, we have at the end of your YouTube video and on a blind date.
Make sure you like and subscribe and comment in the section below if you enjoyed it.
Interesting thing to say on a blind date. Anybody have any other counter answers?
Yeah, just enter promo code Lauren at squarespace.com/Lauren to get 10% off your free website.
I like the Squarespace shout out. That's the point. All right, misplacing the mixtape you made for your crush and to your dog.
Come on, boy.
How would you do that with a mixtape?
I'm calling for him.
Get back here.
Yeah, beat that.
Yeah.
You buried my bone.
I
thought that was funny.
We're good on one side, one side. Give us another one. We're good at this.
All right.
Nobody got points for that one.
Yeah, when you fart in a full lecture room and in a gas station bathroom.
I'm thinking of them, but they're only funny in my mind.
You might say something like, "Do not go in there."
You're gonna say that to a lecture hall?
Yeah.
Then leave.
Then leave.
Crop dusting.
It's a gas station now.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But what about the lecture?
I'll give a point to it's a gas station now.
The lecture.
Oh, the lecture is now the gas
Because
station.
okay,
Just
so when you
implying that the
fart,
gas-
it's passing gas, so you're releasing
We get
methane.
it.
Yeah.
The number one rule of
He's new.
comedy is explain your jokes.
100%. Yeah.
Always.
In the middle of signing a prenup and last words before an execution.
I think that there are too many answers to that. Haha.
Don't tell them where I buried the money.
Hey, nice. I like that one.
I like that one as
was
well.
pretty good, yeah.
That'll be the point. All right. Pooping your pants and eating a block of wasabi thinking it's avocado.
Oh, geez, that's hot.
Too quick.
That's pretty good. Give her the point.
Yep, that's the point. All right. Stuck in an elevator with 6 other strangers and when a fast food restaurant messes up your order.
I'm too afraid to say anything.
I just need some space.
How could you do this?
This wasn't what I meant by a sandwich.
Oh, because in an elevator,
You're like
sandwich.
squished together with several other people.
All right.
Can you?
No point on that one. Coming in bronze at the Winter Olympics and finding out you're adopted.
Really?
Short and sweet.
You should, because you find out you're adopted, and if you're at the Olympics, I feel like if you win bronze, you're just kind of like, God, like really, I could have done better.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
That'd have to be a low point, the bronze medal.
You guys are just.
All right, we'll give you that point.
Thank you.
Ordering food at KFC and accidentally cutting your hand while using a butter knife.
None of this was a good choice.
It's all very slippery.
I'll give it to slippery. I like slippery. Inside a Waffle House and getting not enough ketchup packets.
I need more ketchup packets.
In the
On your waffles? You're disgusting.
Both of these things are disgusting.
Sure.
Way to roast the Waffle House.
It's never fun.
I'll give it to ketchup packets, needing more ketchup packets. Stuck on a mountaintop and on the kiss cam.
This is a lot of pressure.
Oh man, that's good. Come on. We're killing it.
It's hard to beat that. No thanks?
Yeah. But you have to do that too.
You got to do that. I'm going to give it to no pressure. We have at a daycare and getting way too many ketchup packets.
Something's about to explode.
All right, and with there, we're going to end it. That was good. I didn't keep track of points.
I had the winning.
I had 6.
You had 6. Did you keep track?
It was probably
7.
420.
Bold joke. All right. Congrats to our winner, everyone. Huge thank you to all of our guests from Awkward Silence. Thank all of you for being here. Tune in next week where Jesse Eisenberg and I learn the meaning of Christmas. And remember, it's not too late to take some karate lessons. See you all later. Thank you for watching another great episode of Not Too Late. If you want to see a past episode, click right here. If you want to subscribe, click here. If you want to check out our Twitter, click here. If you'd like to illegally download Transformers 2 Dark of the Moon, that's right here. If you'd like to see if you could save money by switching to Geico, that'll be below the video. If you want to invest in Bitcoin for any reason, click right above my head. If you want to see where I get this hairpiece, click my face. If you want to see what other small town companies are in Bloomington, you can click anywhere, literally anywhere, and it'll pop up. If you want to illegally download a different movie, like maybe Transformers 3 or Transformers 4 Age of Extinction or possibly Transformers 1 or the new Bumblebee movie coming out, just go to the Pirate Bay. If you want to support Not Too Late, send me money personally. Come find me and then hand me an envelope with an undisclosed amount of cash in it, and I promise you no one will have to know. And